Chapter 4 The Mystical Muse. That night, as the white buffalo and I laid to rest under the stars, I couldn't help but smile through the night. How did I get so lucky to meet such a fine fellow? Isn't life just a pure and simple delight?
"What do you make of life?"
asked the white buffalo. Our world is quite strange, I suppose.
"What if the world is not only stranger than we suppose, but what if it's stranger than we can even suppose?"
he said. And how am I supposed to understand my own life?
How can it be understood? It's a receding mystery, a continuing carrot. In the days of Moby Dick, reality outran apprehension. Apprehension is the primitive functioning of the primeval neural network. And as for this reality, who knows? It's a mystery. You do not measure the depth of the universal mystery with the neural network of a primate. Our goal is not to understand, but to appreciate, and so we have a great capacity for the resonance of beauty,
said the white buffalo. So are you saying I'll never understand it?
One must put oneself in everyone's position. To understand everything is to forgive everything,
said the white buffalo. Well, how do I do that? Of course I want to understand and forgive.
Once upon a time, there was a simple understanding that to sing at dawn and to sing at dusk was to heal the world through joy. The birds still remember what we have forgotten, that the world is meant to be celebrated. Right now, just understand that every moment is a moment in which we are blessed. If we're lucky, we'll find the moment again tomorrow, but tonight we close our eyes for rest,
said the white buffalo. And with that we went to bed. As the silence crept in, my thoughts began to slow. I stared up at the stars for as long as I could until my eyes fell closed. Now in the space of dreams, there is much that can happen. Why, it seems the impossible becomes possible in ways we could never quite fathom. That night was particularly vivid, and from one dream to the other I was called. So much seemed to be happening in my inner world, and these dreams appeared in a sort of free-for-all. Then among all the commotion, I heard a woman's voice say,
"Pardon."
I turned to look at her, and there she was, my golden lover, the goddess from the garden. I'd almost walked right past her, and now my eye was caught on her. We were between time, beyond time, around time, or through time, but this was her. And for the entire night, it happened so fast that when I awoke, the memory started to blur. As I laid upon the ground, I took hold of my storytelling pages. After all, there was a mystical muse in my dreams, and I would do anything for her to stay. And so I wrote. I met a woman in my dreams, and I almost let her slip away. She was so pretty that I didn't dare bother her, but by a miracle, she asked me a question when I stopped to hear what she had to say. Now that I'm awake, I forget what her question was, but before long, her hand touched my leg. Last night, I met a woman in my dreams, and I fell in love. Our connection flourished in a chance meeting, like a wildflower breaching the soil to discover the warmth of perfect light. We talked endlessly about God, philosophy, and purpose. It was clear that she was the last missing ingredient in my life. There is a magnetic pull between two lovers. It's a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual attraction. And as the whole world spins around us, as I looked into her eyes, nothing was missing. Nothing else mattered when you spoke to me. And we laughed so loud. Why, I haven't laughed like that in years. As I wake up without you and walk in the real world, at least I know who it is that I'm looking for. The moon was still out, as it was before the sunrise, and so I gazed up, hoping this memory of her would never die. Who was that mystical muse? She was the same woman from the garden, a goddess in full bloom, and to her I would make the perfect husband.
"Did you see a cow jump over the moon?"
whispered the white buffalo. Huh? What are you doing awake?
"Hey, diddle diddle, just dreaming of cats and fiddles. The cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon. It's a poem by Mother Goose,"
said the white buffalo. A poem? Why, yes. I looked down at the poem about the woman who made me feel like I was home. It seemed like I sat with her for hours, but now she was gone. I stared up to the stars before the dawn, and I couldn't stop looking at the moon. Where had she gone? She left too soon.
"Writing poems in the middle of the night, are ya? Then you are quite the storyteller. Now what was it about?"
said the white buffalo. I saw her.
"Who?"
he asked. The mystical muse. She was the golden woman from the vision in the garden. I almost missed her in my dreams, but once I found her, nothing else mattered, and together we became one team.
"Well, why are you looking to the moon? She's not up there. She must be down on Earth, not floating in the air,"
said the white buffalo. Well, in my dreams, she was right here, but now she seems so far away. I just wish I could go back and be with her again. Oh, why didn't she come to stay?
It's true that feeling lies in the feminine side. When you realize that, then a certain number of your own feelings become open to you. Isn't that what poetry is written in? And if the male side develops wrong, in a man or in a woman, they end up in the moon palace. It's a long ways up there. It's cold, and it deals with reflected light. And in the moon palace, you live the provisional life. You don't mean this poem, you mean the next one. You don't love this woman, you love the next one. Nothing seems real in the moon palace, and I lived there for years and years,"
said the white buffalo. You think I'm living up there?
"Maybe, maybe not,"
said the white buffalo. Well, what if I am? Then how can I get down?
"Diapers are a great help. Taking care of children, feeding children, and helping children is a great help in bringing someone down from the moon palace,"
he said. Well, maybe I need to make me some babies. But you know what? I do know that I'm a man of the earth. And in all my past relationships, when I found myself falling in love with someone, then I loved them the best I could, and I gave them my whole heart, even if it left me broken and hurt. What more can you ask of a man than to offer his woman his very best? And every woman I ever loved, well, I left them better than I found them, even if it felt like they stabbed me 3 times in the chest. Can you imagine that? Leaving someone better than you found them. Maybe I did leave love all over the place, but I tried to elevate everyone I gave my heart to. And if I had to do it over, well, I'd do anything to elevate their heart, mind, and spirit again and again. I'd put my heart in their hands, and I tried to inspire whomever came my way. It wasn't always fair to me, but I did my best, no matter what anyone else has to say.
"You really seem to have some heart power flowing. Maybe a second heart in the making. Well, let's be sure to put it to good use. And did I mention, I'm quite proud of you. Now go on and tell me, what was it about this muse?"
said the white buffalo. This muse isn't just another girl. This isn't just another poem. This is the true lover from the garden, and she's the one with whom I will build a home. In that dream, there were many people near us, but no one else mattered. Others even tried to get her attention, but nothing could stop us from being together. Words came and went, but our connection stayed. I'm certain it was her. I must find her now, and I'll do whatever it takes."
"Oh, is that so? Then you're right here upon the earth. If it's really the lover that you found, then you're going to have to prove your worth. If you actually found her, if she is your mystical muse, it's going to take a journey to find her. And are you prepared for what you may have to go through?"
asked the white buffalo. "How can words explain what my heart felt? I'll do anything to find her, even in a crowded setting. Once her and I locked eyes, we were all by ourselves. I knew what she was saying. She was calling her lover home. I am the man that's meant to be with her, and so I'll do whatever it takes, and I'll travel as far as one must roam."
"I hear your words, but this will take great action, and so I will support you as a father supports a son, because I believe in the miracles that can happen in the lover's garden,"
said the white buffalo. "But who really was she?"
"All good things are wild and free,"
said the white buffalo. "Rare is the woman who can turn chaos into a work of art. I'll never forget how you came into my dreams and left a garden blossoming in my heart. Whoever you are, and wherever you may be, even if you're locked in a faraway kingdom, I'll do whatever it takes to find the key and set our love free."